It's been 6 months since I purchased Insta360 X5, and this camera traveled with me to 10 different countries on 3 different continents, from Eurasia to Australia. And I just wanted to share with you some pros and cons that I found with this camera. And if you didn't decide yet if you want to buy this camera or not, I hope this video will be helpful for you. I had Insta360 X4 before I purchased X5. But the thing is that I often film at the sunrise or the sunset, and for me it was a big disadvantage on the X4, the absence of the proper pure mode and actually the small sensor. With Insta360 X5, of course, everything has been changed. The sensor is bigger, and the processing of the image has been so much more improved. And the first advantage for me, of course, it's a pure video mode. It's a filming in a low light, as I just mentioned. The thing is that I've been filming a lot at night. I was showing you the footage when I was filming at the midnight, walking in the city, or for example, even when driving in the car while it really was dark outside. And camera still was able to handle some light much better than other competitors. Second pros that I found with Insta360 X5 is the simplicity of using it. From the perspective of using the studio application, desktop studio application, mobile studio application, Insta360 X5 is so much more advanced. I'm not talking about GoPro, because GoPro Max 2 looks like the camera that is outdated with at least a couple of years. It has smaller sensor. It's first of all a second GoPro Max 2. You cannot reframe and you cannot actually reposition the view on your camera while filming. You can just switch between front and back. And in general, the GoPro Studio application is not so advanced as Insta360, and I'm not talking about DJI Studio application that still has so many crashes, and I can't use it. That's why I think that Insta360 X5, to my opinion, has the best user experience among all 3 cameras. And the third about Insta360 X5 is all the accessories that Insta360 are also building for this camera. The thing is that there might be a lot of different situations when you will be using the camera, while motorbiking, cycling, running, or perhaps flying on the airplane or driving the car, etc. Like maybe you take it for the scuba diving. And if you take other cameras, for example DJI Osmo 360, GoPro Max 2, they still don't have underwater case. But the thing is that for 360 cameras, filming underwater is just impossible without the proper case. The entire footage, the video itself, will be distorted, and the housing for the 360 footage underwater is not like something just to protect the camera, but actually to make the video possible. Also, if you take a look at all the other accessories, like for example this remote microphone with GPS and a lot of different mounts, Insta360 offers like the entire family ecosystem of all the accessories you can use with this camera. If you take a look at different remote accessories, how to use this camera remotely, for example remote ring as well, it was super helpful for me. And if you're still looking to purchase Insta360 X5, today is your lucky day, because I will attach the link and also the discount code that will get you 10% off for all the Insta360 X5 bundles. And as a gift, you also will get the free replaceable lens kit. So just don't wait, take it now, because it will end soon. Another thing that I found about Insta360 as well very good is the battery life. For example, today I'm filming already the whole morning. It's like almost 3.5 hours that I'm using this camera. Of course, I turn it off and on all the time, but I still have 70% left on the camera. And actually I found that if you purchase additional battery, for example this ultra battery that costs only $5 more as far as I remember, you'll get 20% more of capacity of the battery. And to be honest, I have like the spare battery on this camera, but I haven't been using it yet. Comparing to DJI Osmo 360 and actually Insta360 X4 of the previous generation, the X5 is coming as well with replaceable lenses. And these replaceable lenses are not just like on GoPro, because on the GoPro, the so-called replaceable lenses, they still distort the image. On Insta360 X5 you don't get the distortion, because if you replace the entire system of the lenses, and this is very important to remember. So the only Insta360 X5 has a real replaceable lenses system at the moment on the 360 cameras. And the disadvantage of the Insta360 X5 for me is log mode. The thing is that if you compare it with the competitors, in Insta360 X5 you can only use a lock mode only if you film in 5.7K resolution, and the thing is that with the competitors who can film it in 8K using lock mode, Insta360 X5 has a lot of things to improve in here. One more disadvantage of Insta360 X5 that actually can be improved, but still this is the best among all the 360 cameras, is underwater footage. If you compare it to Ace Pro 2 or any other flat lens action camera, I must say that Insta360 X5 is losing a lot. Of course, you will get these immersive shots, like, you know, where you can see everything around you, the spherical shots. But if you want to focus on the details, then 360 camera is definitely not for this purpose. Another advantage that I found about Insta360 X5, how good it is single lens mode. I think that in 50% of the time I'm using single lens mode just as a regular vlogging camera, for example, like I'm doing it now, because in a single lens you still can switch between different view mode, and the thing is that you have the same amount of features. You have the pure video mode and the colors and everything else, all the features that you can apply to 360 mode, you'll also be able to apply it to a single lens mode. That's why Insta360 considers this camera not only for those who are filming in 360, but as well like for all the users who would like, in most of the cases, to use single lens and sometimes more 360. For the simplicity, I'm sure this is a big advantage. Another pros about Insta360 X5 is how many different modes do you have. For example, if you would like to film the star lapse, you can do it. Another mode is a time shift and time lapse. Those modes that allows you to film like time lapses while moving or while keeping the camera still. And by the way, Insta360 X5 is the only 360 camera that allows you to attach also ND filters, and I'm sure this is a so huge advantage over other cameras, because ND filters allows you to add the cinematic blur motion to your footage naturally without applying it while editing in video editor. As well, Insta360 X5 can be connected to the Garmin watch directly. If you go on the Garmin to the Bluetooth settings, you can connect this camera and you can just take all the tracking data from your Garmin device directly to the Insta360 and overlay on your footage. And this is another big advantage, comparing even to GoPro Max 2 that has integrated GPS, but unfortunately the overlay is very poor comparing to Insta360 X5 overlay. And guys, if you know about more advantages and disadvantages of the Insta360 X5, please share in the comments below. Maybe I missed something, maybe I didn't use this camera at certain situations, but that's exactly what I wanted to share with you about the pros and cons that I found with my experience. And if you enjoyed this video, just hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, because we've got a lot interesting coming in the next few days. Stay tuned and see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.